Protests in Tbilisi felt their first spark when citizens gathered in front of Parliament on October 26th and called for a re-election as evidence came in of voter intimidation, lack of voter secrecy, and the buying of votes at multiple polling stations across the country of Georgia during parliamentary elections, which ended with a majority of votes for the current ruling party, Georgian Dream. Georgia is a mountainous country seated in the Caucasus, bordered to the north by Russia and then clockwise by Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, and the Black Sea. The population is about 3.7 million, half of which live in Tbilisi. As the newly elected parliamentarians began their term on November 25th, protesters gathered again. Just 3 days later, on November 28th, Prime Minister Irakli Kobakhidze, also from the Georgian Dream Party, announced that the government would cease EU accession negotiations until 2028, changing the course of Georgia away from Europe and towards Russia. This comes after a Kremlin-style foreign agent law and anti-LGBT law were passed earlier this year. On the streets, the crowd swelled to 200,000. Kobakhidze has since commended police officers for doing their duty, and also added this.
Როგორც კი შევედით პარტიულ ოფისებში, მაშინვე შეწყდა ძალადობა დედაქალაქის ქუჩებში. როდესაც არ იყო ძალადობა, არ იყო არც შინაგან სამინისტროს რეაქციაც.
Protesters say strings are being pulled by Georgian billionaire and founder of the Georgian Dream Party, Bidzina Ivanishvili, who made his fortune in Russia in the 90s. Ivanishvili was formerly prime minister, but currently holds no political position. After mounting arrests and police brutality, protesters have continued to gather in front of Parliament for over 2 weeks. I was here interviewing on the 11th day.
So we're here in Tbilisi. This is the 11th day of protests. We're here in front of Parliament on Rustaveli Ave. Let's see what people have to say today.
We're protesting the government, the fact that they completely disregarded the Constitution and that they rigged the elections and that they're basically illegitimate.
And they're violent and unfair.
What's been happening lately?
Our friends are
being
family
arrested
members. They're being arrested, harassed, tortured. People from ages 15 through 60, they're being unfairly arrested, and it's just not fair, and it shouldn't be happening.
How many days have you guys been out protesting?
11.
You're here every day?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you exhausted?
Yes.
I'm sitting with my boyfriend, and I still can feel that he's with me, and I know that everything will be fine very soon because we're not gonna give up.
მართლა ძალიან სწორს თავს, იმიტომ რომ აქ ძალიან ბევრი ხალხია შეკრებილი იმისათვის, რომ აქ ძალიან სწორი გადახდება არა რუსეთს, ჩვენ გვინდა ევროპაში და გვინდა რომ რასთავარია მშვიდობიან მოხდეს ეს ყველაფერი და გვინდა რომ სპეციალისტებმა როგორც აი ხალხსასუშვებიან, ეგ მორჩეს და შეწყდეს ძალიან მინდა. იმიტომ რომ ანუ ეგეთი ხალხის შემად რაღაცა ხალხში უფრო სიბრძანეს გამოიწოს რა და ჯობია რომ ყველა ანუ ხალხმას რა რომ არ გავაბრაზოთ ის სპეციალისტები და სპეციალისტმა რო არ შემოგვიტიოს ისე რომ ხალხი დაასახიჩონ რა ეს არის ჩემი აზრი რა ამ ყველაფერთან რა მე შემეგვარი დავშტაბ და რავი ხალხის გვერდზე ვიდგებით ყოველთვის და რავი რა არავის არ მივატოვებთ აქ ვიდგებით სანამ ეს ყველაფერი არ ჩაივლის რა.
We just hit a couple of fireworks, but I'm still here in front of Parliament. I'm having trouble talking to people because many of them don't want their faces seen on video because they're doing face recognition. The police can stop you and arrest you if they know you're active in the protest. So the search continues.
I got beaten up there. So basically there were barricades there, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. There were not many people left, so I was feeding some people burgers that we made with friends. And then I was thinking about going to a metro station because it was opening up at 6 o'clock. But then somebody screamed that they're coming from the other side, and they followed the upper street, which is parallel, so they got behind us. And when I got into court, they were telling me like, yeah, we were trying to disperse the crowd, but there was no space for dispersing. And 50 or 100 people around that number got squished. and basically all of them got beaten up and arrested. Me personally, like 3 guys were beating me up when I was on the floor, so I got lucky. Some policeman squeezed me out, and he was like, "You don't beat up this guy." But then one guy with the riot shield just smashed his shield into my face, which was not nice. But other people got like really plastered on the asphalt. They were pink and violet when I got to the police station. But in police station it was fine. But that sense that you were surrounded and like there is no fucking escape, that was horrible.
How long were you in jail?
I got jailed for 7 days, and they were telling me that I was insulting police. I was not. That I was calling them Russian pigs and militia, like Russian militia. So in the spring there were peaceful gatherings. Now people are just angry. Since last Thursday, I think. And I haven't seen like that many angry people at the same time, like right away. It just got organized in 2 or 3 hours. People just got there. There was no singing or like one line that we want this. They were just angry, and that emotion continues, I think.
So also there's a bunch of trash on the ground because protesters were using the trash cans to light fires and to make barricades. Now there are no dumpsters. People just have to throw everything on the ground.
Trash. They faked the elections, they hijacked the elections on 26th of October, and it was really confusing for us in general to see that how they actually treated us during the elections, because they faked the elections with multiple ways in general. And we feel offended and angry, and we want to continue the protest, and that's what we do right now. So the demands are really clear. We want new elections, we want Prime Minister to resign, and we want just to them to respond to protests. And also there are other things to demand, like they need to withdraw the Russian law, and they don't belong in this parliament anymore. European Union and US also we're demanding from the Georgian Dream that they want to investigate how was the previous election held. We no answer on that. It was held really badly and it was faked. So they were planning to, or maybe they are on the way, I don't know, they are planning to send the committee representatives to check how the election process really went, but I think there is no need for that anymore, because in the meanwhile Georgian Dream declared that we are not joining EU anymore, and they are not planning to continue our European future. So the case and this process is really clear right now. There is no need for any further investigations. We just need new election and the Prime Minister to resign, and opposition is united in these demands, while they are threatening the opposition members, beating up the people, beating up the activists and the civilians and the journalists. And more than 10 of my friends were beaten up by the police, or arrested by the police, or beaten up by the titushkas in the streets, who are totally unbelievable, like self-declared violent group, anonymous. They wear masks, they wear black.
What she's referencing are groups of unmarked men dressed in black and wearing masks or helmets. These are called the titushkebi, who generally patrol the side streets and attack people who venture off the main road in smaller groups.
And I want that as much people as possible to understand who is on the side of truth, who is on the side of democracy, and who is on the side of Russia.
It's midnight. The metro is now closing. This is often when the action begins. Let's see what happens. Hi, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, thank you.
Yeah, can you tell me what you're here protesting?
Well, I'm here to protest government's actions, all their actions starting from the election, I was one of the observers at the election. I saw all the fraudulent actions, and it started all from there. And then our so-called government announced that they are not going to start negotiations about our integration to European Union. And this is when the whole crowd came out and we're protesting it. And it was followed by aggression, abuse of power by the government, and this is just unbelievable. This is not the country we want to live in, so we're here to protest it.
And what do you hope for now?
We hope for re-elections, something to change. This is not how we are supposed to live. We will not continue living in a country where human rights are not respected, and we want to change something. So at least something has to change.
Can you tell me how maybe other parts of your life have been affected, like work or family or?
Well, my whole family is here. We are working in the morning, in the evening we come out. On weekends we're the whole day. We're also gathering our community. For example, my sister is a developer. She has gathered her community protesting together. I'm a lawyer myself. All of us lawyers are fighting and protecting people's rights. People are in the prisons. We're following them. We're protecting their rights. So all of us, the whole society is being active right now.
Yeah, it's great that this is really a people's movement. Like, I know there are opposition leaders that have been arrested, but everyone's here on the street.
It is. We're not following any leader. We're not supporting any political party. I'm just a civilian protesting whatever is happening right now. We just do not like it, and we have the right to protest it, go against it.
How many days have you been out here protesting?
I think it's 11th day.
Every day.
I'm here every day.
Yeah, and you said you feel great?
I feel great.
I am really happy to hear that. I'm glad you're not tired. So, yeah, save your energy, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, how are you feeling today?
I'm okay. I'm feeling hopeful.
Hopeful.
Of course.
And what do you hope for?
I'm hoping that Russia will leave us alone. That's the main thing, what we want.
Is that why you're here protesting?
Country, they can't even take care of their people. What they want from us?
Can you tell me what Russia has done here in Georgia?
We will need more than 2 hours to tell you this. They are just trying to occupy Georgia. They try to occupy. They occupied 20% of Georgia. Now they want to take us like they want us to be Russians. We will never be Russians. We are not for like Belarus and these kind of countries. We are warriors. We've been in the war like more than 2,000 years. So we are here now. Russia can do nothing. This little Putin can do nothing.
Yeah, Georgians have quite the fighting spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main thing we have.
And what do you think will happen going forward?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But we gotta fight.
Yes.
I don't know these people. They are with masks. We have to go out with masks because they are hunting us. I'm a musician. I'm scared of put out my music about them. I'm putting it out, and I know that tomorrow they can come at my home, knock at my door, and take me out to the police. I don't give a fuck.
So, can you tell me your role in these protests, what you've been up to lately?
So I'm interviewing people who are tortured by the system, who were in like the part of the protest very actively and who paid the price of the liberty. And that this system is like literally torturing and killing us. They are trying to kill us, trying to beat us. I don't know, like they're trying every single method of USSR and the Russia. Listening to them, it's torture as well because because they're very injured, not only physically, but mentally as well. But the main thing and the thing which gives me hope is that they are ready to continue this fight for freedom and for rights and human rights and their rights and our rights as well.
Can you tell me a little bit about what they're experiencing? So they're beaten here on the street, they're arrested, and they're beaten also
Yeah, so some of them they're beaten here, and then they were injured so badly that they took them to hospital, and now they have the huge injuries and everything. But part of them were beaten in the street, then taken to the buses, special buses, and in those buses they beaten them again, and then they took them to prisons and to some places.
And are they also questioning them? And
Some of them, yes, and some of them were not only questioned, but they were telling them awful things, which they wanted to do to them, and they were enjoying the whole process of torturing them. That's the awful part of this.
and do we have a number of how many people have been beaten while under?
I'm not sure how many people were beaten, but I know that up to 400 people were caught, and some of them they are free now. Some of them they're still in arrested, and it's both kinds of how to say both kinds of torturing in the prisons, not only physical but mental as well. So I don't know the number exactly.
And how do you see everything moving forward? What's next?
Not giving up ever, standing here till the very end. That's the only way. And I think maybe this protest will change a little bit. It will go to the day shifts, to different places, but the main protest is still going always here because this is the building of the parliament.
Georgians don't give up. They are fighters, so
Never give up.
After attending the protests on this day as well as on others, I began to notice how much of a people's movement it really was. With no leader and not even a hashtag, protesters have been gathering themselves for over 2 weeks and continue to fight for democracy.